Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Any person who has to be given an access into NetSuite or who works in the organization will be created as an employee in NetSuite. To create an employee, you need to go to List Employees, and if you click on Employees, you will get the list of employees. If you click on New, you will be taken to a new page. Now the thing here is, whenever you create a new user, or you can say a new employee, the only requirement is first name and the last name and the subsidiary to which it belongs. But in case, if you want to give that particular user access to the system, you will have to define the email ID of that particular user as well, or you will have to provide the email ID of that particular user. For example, if I try to edit this particular employee, I will have to give it the first name and the last name. And the subsidiary. These are the minimum required things that I'll have to provide to a particular person or an employee that an access can be given to that particular user. Oh, that the employee can be created. But in case if you want to give access to that particular employee into NetSuite, we'll have to give the email ID or we'll have to provide the email ID of that particular user. I can give the first name and the last name. In case if I want to give it a job title for that particular employee, I can do that. In case if there is any supervisor associated with it, I can define the supervisor as well. Apart from that, I can give the image and other notes related to that particular employee. Apart from that, as mentioned in case, if you want to give access to that particular employee, we'll have to provide the email address. Apart from that, we can provide phone, mobile and other information. Apart from that, in case if you want to give, say if this particular employee is associated with a particular department, class or location, I can provide this information as well. Why I need to provide this? In case if I want to restrict this particular user to transactions only associated with these particular classifications, I will be able to do that on the load. That's the reason I can provide the department, class and location for this particular employee. Any questions till now? Apart from that, this department, class and location. For example, this particular employee is located at location store 200 in Los Angeles. There might be other locations as well. But I don't want this particular user to view or enter transaction for any other location apart from store 200. In that case, I can provide the location as well. And on the roll, I'll have the option to restrict this particular employee to only this location. That this particular employee will not be able to enter transaction for any other location apart from store 200. Going ahead, communication. Communication is the common tab that we have seen on all the entities, or it will also be there on the transactions. Communication. Address. I can give the address of this particular employee as well. Human resources. Here I can provide all the HR related information for this particular user. What's the social security number? What's the birth date? The type of the employee, whether it's a contract or exempt or a full, you can say a permanent or regular employee. That can be provided here. What's the employee status, whether it's terminated or temporary fixed, that can be provided. Termination release date. In case if this particular employee has left the organization and if you want to map that particular date, that can be maintained here. Apart from that, these particular employee can be, you can say, mapped to a self, rep or support rep or project resource as well. In case if this particular employee is going to be project resource, we can check the checkbox. In case if this particular employee is going to be a self rep, I can check this checkbox. We had selected a self rep yesterday on the customer right. Do you remember that? Yes. If I check this checkbox self rep on the employee, only after that this particular employee will be shown in that self rep list, or else it will not be shown. Same stands for support rep. In case if we are using support or cases into NetSuite, then if this particular checkbox is checked on the employee, only in that case this particular resource or employee would be treated as a support rep. Same for project. In case if we are using project management and we want this particular user to be used for projects, then this particular checkbox has to be checked project resource. Once I check the project resource checkbox, the project manager checkbox will also open up. In case if this particular employee is going to be a project manager as well, then I can check that particular checkbox as well. In case if we are going to use this as a project resource, you will see that the other fields also open up. What's the project resource role, whether it's a staff or a project manager, and also I can define the target utilization for that particular project resource. What's the labor cost? That is also related to timesheet and projects itself. You can also define the hire date, last review date, and the next review date as well. Apart from that, you can also define the expense limits in case if you are going to use expense reports in NetSuite. Then what would be the expense limit for this particular user, and who would be the expense approval in case if you are using standard NetSuite approval matrix for the approvals of expense reports. Same stands for purchase orders and purchases as well. Any queries till now? Expense limit. In that case, expense limit in the instance, this particular user would be able to only expense or create an expense report for maybe $1 allowance in. You can define the expense limit here. In case if the expense limit goes above that, the system will not allow to enter the expense report. Similarly, we have subordinates. What's the? You can say resident status, visa type, and all other information can be maintained here. Supervisor change history. In case if you have whatever changes, or in case if we have defined a supervisor here. And in case if the supervisor changes in the future, if we change that, the system will keep a track of the changes of the supervisors that have been taken place. What's the work status? That can be defined here. Emergency contacts may be wife's contacts or a parent contacts. The images in contacts can be maintained here. Education. What's the education or the qualification of this person, particular user? Personal information can also be maintained. What's the marital status? Well, what's the gender and all other information? What are the rates? In case if you are going to use projects, we can define the rates in various currencies. Which particular currencies in which this particular user can enter the expense reports. It can be USD or any other currency that we can define. And in case if we have provided any corporate cards to this particular user. Apart from that, in case if we are using electronic phone transfer or ACH suite app, then you can maintain this particular information as well. Skills and expertise. Skills and expertise. This is not native. It has come from one of the suite apps. Time tracking. In case if this is a project resource and this particular user has entered any time on this particular project, then the timesheets will show up here. Same for commission. In case if we are using any commission module, then whether this particular employee is eligible for commission or not. And in case if it is eligible, what would be a commission given on the sales? Those rules can be defined under commissions. Similarly related records. In case if there are any checks or expense reports associated with this particular user or employee, they will show up here. Now let's talk about access. In case if we want to give an access to this particular employee, we can give the access here. We can check this checkbox. In that case, we'll be able to give the access to the user. And we'll have to find the role. What role or what access that we are given to this particular employee. Whether it's an administrator role or accountant role, that can be defined here. And a particular employee can be given multiple roles as well if required. Similarly, if you are giving the user access for first time, then you can manually enter the password as well. Once that is done, you can just save it and the access would be given to that particular user. And these are the password criteria that can be set. Approvals can be. Those approvals can set required. We can find various workflows for those are custom approvals that will be, but a user can be given multiple roles. And the permissions and the restrictions can be defined on that role. We having one session for specially defined for roles, how the roles can be defined. In case if you have any questions, you can ask during that particular session. We'll have to define that on the role, whether this particular user or role should be able to access. You can say any other locations or not. That will be defined on the role. On the role, you don't enter a location. You just define whether this particular user should be able to access other locations or not. Things will get clear when we go through the role session. Shall we move ahead? This was something related to employees. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.